Hey, you are most welcome, and today we shall see how we can actually do some pinging. At one point in life you'll have to ping if you're a programmer, or if you're a techie or network engineer, or basically in the IT world. According to TechTarget, ping is a packet internet or Inter-Network Groper, and it's basically an internet program that allows a user to test and verify if a particular destination IP address exists and actually can accept requests on the computer network, and that's usually the administration part of it. So what ping usually does, it measures the round trip for messages sent from the originating host to the destination computer that are echoed back to the source. So I've opened the terminal because I want to first exercise with Windows ping before I use Python, because that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to do Python pinging. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. My name is Ronnie Atwaire, aka Afroboytex, and I'm glad that you chose this particular channel. So if I start with ping google.com, for example, you see it will tell me that it will bring results of what is actually happening here. If I did, for example, this is actually its IP address, and you can see that 4 packets were sent, 4 were received. That means actually alive. There's 0% loss, and approximately this is the round trip I was talking about, measured in milliseconds. So these are like these are time to lives, and you can see there are actually 4 packs that we actually sent, which were equal to 32 bytes of data. So if you actually copied this IP address and they just said ping, it will still return the same thing. Yes, and as you can see now, this is actually now Google IP address, and you can actually ping it directly. Yes, so if you have a bunch of hosts, for example, of computers or remote computers that you really want to check if they are online and running, you need to use some tools, or you could actually write your own ping sweeper programmatically. And this comes in handy for pen testers, network engineers who want to check for all subnets, for example, under a particular IP address. You achieve the same output like just we've had here, but this time around, for example, I'm pinging 100 computers. How would you go on pinging one by one? So that's when some tools come hand in handy. But I'm also going to to be able to use 2 Python modules, the OS module in Python, and also Python ping. That's another module that we're going to use. And the OS module, you don't have to install it, so I'm going to create a new file, and let me just create a new file here. So this new file, I'm going to call it, let me put it here, let me just call it piping. Let me just call it ping p.py. So after creating this file, I don't know, it didn't say, okay, it's saved. So after creating file, let me this first try. You don't have to import the OS module, simply import OS, and we shall have a response. Okay, this is actually, I think, let's first see if, for example, you want to open you want to ping directly using the OS module. You could just say os.popen. I'm going to explain this in a second. Popen, then now you could actually pass in the command, which is ping. We'll give it a parameter of this n1, and it's gonna be google.com. And then these are going to be like kind of like root lines, so we shall just say for line in response dot, let's read the lines, what is coming through, then we shall be able now to print this line. Print line. So let me explain quickly what is happening here. So OS module has a open function which executes the command specified by the string. So what's basically doing here, it's just executing this command here, and it creates a pipe between the calling program and the executed command. So it's basically creating that pipe in between there. So the major three keywords that we've seen, so for example, if I run this, let's type here and then I run ping p, there is okay, I have a syntax error, I knew something was wrong. Okay, it should be good. Yes, we are returning the same information, and you can see that, maybe let me explain also this quickly, TTL, because you'll see this most often. Time to live refers to the amount of time or hops that actually a packet is said to exist inside the network before being discarded by that router, and that's what is basically this time to live. Then the byte is basically the payload, as you can see, basically a payload of the packet. Then timeout, and we usually have timeouts under, but I think there's no timeout here, but it's basically the how long before receiving the next response, something like that. Then the count, as you can see, we saw it earlier on. The count is basically the number of ICMP packets to send in sequence. ICMP is basically an internet control message protocol, that is error reporting protocol that network devices such as routers use to generate error messages. Then there's nothing here, but you might come across something called, I think, RTT, which is basically the round trip time measured in milliseconds we had talked about. This is basically here, round trip times. You may see RTTT and you wonder what it is. Basically that is it. So for me to be able to get to let me explain what this just a second. This command here, this basically are trying to ping directly this command in creating in the pipe that Poppen creates, and this -n basically is buffer size, and we have set it to 1, and then we ping google.com. If you know its IP address, you could actually go ahead and do that. So next on the line, we're going to see how we can actually use Python ping. That's another module. Now for this one, you'll have to actually install it. So just come to your terminal, you say pip install Python ping, So I already have this installed, and for you it could be, because this why I'm trying to go to Python ping is because it is actually a simpler version. It provides a simple way of pinging with Python, with the ICMP, the message protocol. So I'm going to use the same file, but I'll just comment this out. So I will just come here down, then I say I want to import ping from Python ping, the one that we just installed. So you could just say from it's called Python ping import ping. So I realized that I didn't use targeting of many hosts, and we're actually going to do it here because this is a simpler way. For example, if you have a response list, for example, you could have a response list that you want to create and then you ping directly. So the other method is you could actually have target hosts that you want to ping and then be able to get the results. So maybe what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to define target hosts, the IPs or websites or what you want to ping. So this target hosts, it's going to be a list. So this list, for example, let me put in some of my favorite sites around there. I will start maybe with reddit.com, then I do maybe bitcoin.org, maybe I do hashnode.com, maybe I do, let me just break this down from here. Maybe I also get to do, let me see what else. You can put as many as you want. Let me add twitter.com, let me add the last one. Let me call this just put any website that you feel like putting. Let me maybe add the last one, producthunt.com. So this is a list of target hosts. So this could be IP addresses, in other words. So we're going to define a function. Let me define a function here, which is going to ping all these ones with the ping command that we've just created. This is very simple. Just say dev. I'm going to call it maybe ping all. Then it's going to take in targets, which is going to be a list. So that means we need to loop over that list. So I can say for target, in targets, I want to ping every target in there. So basically this is just looping through every, maybe for example IP address, and you ping through. So I could just say ping target, but remember I want to show the results, so I could just come here and add a print statement. Yeah, then that's it. And ping takes in some parameters that you could actually use. So says you could set our buffer size to something like 40. Let's put it to 40. Then we do a count of 2 just for now. Then I don't need to print this now, since I could just call it directly ping all. Yes, that's it. Let's try this. Let's test it out. It's by pink something. I'll try it. Oh yes, we missed the targets. So we just want the target hosts. We call the function. So if I do it again, as you can see, it's a round trip. This is a round trip, 2 milliseconds, and as you can see that the count was 2, and that's why they're using them as 2. So basically that's it. All of them seem to be up and running, because you see information is being returned actually. Yes, and that's it. It shows you when the time, and then the size, then the IP address for the respective sites that I've actually put in. Then it shows you, I think, the mean, average, and the time, everything actually for that ping. So for example, if I know of a website that is offline, I could also try to ping it, but I don't know any website right now. But that's it. If you wanted this code, I will leave it in the description for the repo. Thank you so much. Also, I think I wrote an article sometime back about this. You would want to check it out if you are a reader. Yeah, stay blessed. Please subscribe. Have a blessed one.